The Phoenicians were a maritime civilization that flourished along the eastern coast of the Mediterranean Sea, in present-day Lebanon, around 1500 BCE to 300 BCE. Known for their seafaring abilities, innovative shipbuilding, trade networks, and cultural contributions, they played a crucial role in shaping ancient Mediterranean history. This essay delves into the origins, economy, culture, innovations, and lasting influence of the Phoenicians. Origins and geographic setting. The Phoenicians originated from the Levant, a region that includes modern-day Lebanon, parts of Syria, and northern Israel. The name Phoenician comes from the Greek word Phoinike, which means land of purple, a reference to the famous purple dye they produced and exported. Although they were culturally distinct, the Phoenicians never formed a unified state. Instead, they were organized into city-states, the most prominent being Tyre, Sidon, Byblos, and Arwad. Each city had its own king and government, functioning more as individual entities connected by a common language and culture. Geographically, their coastal location between the mountains of the Levant and the Mediterranean Sea offered them limited agricultural land but abundant access to maritime resources. This naturally pushed the Phoenicians toward a seafaring and trade-based economy. The narrow coastal plains provided little room for agriculture, so the sea became their lifeline, making them proficient in maritime navigation and shipbuilding. Economy and trade networks. The Phoenician economy was primarily based on maritime trade, and they were among the most skilled navigators of the ancient world. The cities of Tyre, Sidon, and Byblos became thriving commercial hubs, dealing in a variety of goods such as textiles, glass, timber, and the famous Tyrian purple dye, which was derived from the murex snail. This dye was highly prized throughout the Mediterranean and became a symbol of royalty due to its expensive production process. Phoenicians were also adept at exploiting their strategic location. They acted as intermediaries between major civilizations such as Egypt, Mesopotamia, and Greece, exchanging goods like gold, ivory, papyrus, and pottery. By establishing far-reaching trade routes, they connected distant regions from the Near East to North Africa, Southern Europe, and even as far as the British Isles, where they traded for tin and other metals essential for the production of bronze. Their ships were advanced for their time, built with cedar wood from the mountains of Lebanon, which was valued for its durability. These ships allowed the Phoenicians to sail across the Mediterranean and beyond, establishing trade routes that helped spread their influence. In fact, the Phoenicians are credited with some of the earliest documented circumnavigations of Africa, under the sponsorship of the Egyptian pharaoh Necho II in the 7th century BCE. They also founded colonies across the Mediterranean, the most famous of which was Carthage, in present-day Tunisia. Carthage would later become a dominant power in the western Mediterranean and play a crucial role in the Punic Wars against Rome. Cultural achievements. One of the most significant contributions of the Phoenicians to world history is their development of the alphabet. While earlier writing systems like Egyptian hieroglyphs and Mesopotamian cuneiform were complex and relied on hundreds of symbols, the Phoenician alphabet was a simplified phonetic system consisting of 22 characters. Each character represented a consonant, and vowels were implied through context. This writing system was highly efficient and easily adaptable, allowing for easier communication in trade and diplomacy. The Phoenician alphabet is widely regarded as the precursor to many modern alphabets, including Greek, Latin, Hebrew, and Arabic. As they traded across the Mediterranean, the Phoenicians spread this writing system, which had a profound impact on the cultures they interacted with. The Greeks adapted it to create their own alphabet, which in turn influenced the development of Latin, the script used throughout the Roman Empire and the basis of many modern European languages. In addition to their innovations in writing, the Phoenicians made significant contributions to the fields of art and craftsmanship. Phoenician artisans were renowned for their skill in producing intricate glassware, metalwork, and textiles. Their glassmaking techniques were highly advanced, and they are credited with pioneering the production of transparent glass. The Phoenicians also excelled in producing luxury items like jewelry, ivory carvings, and bronze statues, which were highly sought after by the elite classes of other civilizations. Religion and spirituality. The Phoenician religion was polytheistic, with gods and goddesses that bore similarities to the deities of other ancient Near Eastern cultures, such as the Canaanites and Mesopotamians. The chief deity of the Phoenician pantheon was El, often considered the father of the gods. Other major deities included Baal, the storm god, Astarte, the goddess of fertility and war, and Melkart, the patron god of the city of Tyre, who was often associated with the Greek Heracles. Rituals and sacrifices played a central role in Phoenician religious practices. Temples were erected in their cities, and offerings, including food, drink, and incense, were made to the gods. In some cases, archaeological evidence suggests that the Phoenicians practiced child sacrifice, a controversial aspect of their culture that has been recorded by ancient authors such as the Roman historian Justin and the Greek historian Diodorus Siculus. However, this practice was likely limited and remains a topic of ongoing historical debate. Colonial expansion and influence. One of the most remarkable aspects of Phoenician civilization was its colonial expansion throughout the Mediterranean. As early as the 12th century BCE, Phoenician traders began to establish colonies in regions far from their homeland. These colonies not only facilitated trade but also helped spread Phoenician culture, language, and innovations. Carthage, founded in the 9th century BCE by settlers from Tyre, became the most powerful of these colonies. Located on the coast of North Africa, Carthage grew into a major commercial and military power, controlling much of the western Mediterranean. Carthaginian culture, while distinct, retained many aspects of Phoenician tradition, including its language and religion. Over time, Carthage rivaled Rome, culminating in the Punic Wars, which ultimately led to Carthage's destruction in 146 BCE. Beyond Carthage, the Phoenicians established numerous other colonies in places like Cyprus, Sicily, Sardinia, Malta, and Spain. These colonies became important centers of trade and cultural exchange, contributing to the spread of Phoenician influence far beyond the Levant. The Phoenicians also introduced new crops, such as the olive and grapevine, to these regions, which would have lasting effects on the agricultural economies of the Mediterranean. Legacy and decline. The Phoenicians' influence on the Mediterranean world was immense, but their political power eventually waned. By the 6th century BCE, the Phoenician city-states fell under the control of the Neo-Babylonian Empire, and later, the Persian Empire. Despite losing their political independence, the Phoenicians continued to thrive as traders and artisans under these foreign rulers. However, their prominence declined further with the rise of Greek and Roman power in the Mediterranean. The final blow came during the Punic Wars, when Rome destroyed Carthage in 146 BCE. Although Carthage was a Phoenician colony, its defeat symbolized the end of Phoenician influence in the Mediterranean. The remaining Phoenician cities were absorbed into the Roman Empire, and their culture gradually became subsumed by that of their conquerors. Despite their eventual decline, the legacy of the Phoenicians endured. Their contributions to navigation, trade, craftsmanship, and especially writing had a profound and lasting impact on the ancient world. The Phoenician alphabet laid the foundation for many of the world's writing systems, and their role as intermediaries between different cultures helped shape the development of the Mediterranean as a center of commerce and exchange. In conclusion, the Phoenicians were a remarkable civilization whose achievements in trade, navigation, and culture had a lasting influence on the ancient world. Although they never formed a centralized state or empire, their legacy lives on through their innovations in writing, their artistic achievements, and their role in shaping the course of Mediterranean history.